They say great work requires great results. Good people put that work in with Jutain Fit. Personal instructor, Rob Ski. Certified in nutrition and fitness. Good people. Tell them Blanco sent you. Good people, what's rockin'? You're now tuned in. Sonny Blanco, I got a story to tell you, heard? Ayo, today, episode 4, the story of Chess Records and the founders of Chicago Blues. You listen, in episode 1, I gave you the father, right? I gave you the father, Muddy Waters, right? That joint did numbers and is still moving, right? Episode 2, I gave you Little Walter, that wild boy Little Walter, right? In episode 3, we had the double feature, right? We had the double feature with Jimmy Rogers and Willie Dixon. Alright, listen, good people, in episode 4, this right here, out of all of the characters, this guy right here is my favorite. This guy right here was like no other. A man's man, no freaky, a stand-up guy. The total package, the voice, the sound, the name alone, my G's, the name alone. No other than Howlin' Wolf. Good people. You already know what it is, right? You already know what it is, right? Hey, yo, listen. Grab your popcorn. Grab your drinks. Grab your get right, you heard? Cause it's movie time. Enjoy the presentation. Howlin' Wolf. Born Chester Arthur Burnett, June 10th, 1910, in White Station, Mississippi, to mother Gertrude Jones and father Leon Doc Burnett, named after the 21st president, Chester A. Arthur. Born into sharecropping. At only a year old, his parents separated. His father Doc worked seasonally as a farm laborer in Mississippi Delta, to which he moved permanently, leaving a young Chester and Gertrude to move to Monroe County. Chester and his mother would sing together in the choir of the Love Boat Baptist Church. Wolf later claimed that he would get his talent from his mother, with his mother being a religious fanatic, which led her to being very strict on Chester. At a young age, I'm talking a very young age, anywhere between 10 or 11 years old, she kicked little Chester out. Ended up living with his uncle, Will Young, who had a large household and treated Chester awful, basically using his son as a servant, working all day, receiving no education. At the age of 13, Chester runs away, off to the Delta to reunite with his father Doc, who from all accounts was said to be a wonderful man who loved Wolf dearly, welcoming him with open arms into his new family. Wolf had finally found a home.
He didn't have no shoes, and he walked 75 miles, which it is from now to West Point.
As a young man, before being called Howlin' Wolf, his nicknames were John D. He introduced himself to family members and others as such to disassociate himself from his troubled past, a name by which some of his family would know him by until his last days. Other nicknames, Bigfoot Chester and Bull Cow, due to the fact that he stood 6'3" and weighing close to 300 pounds. The nickname Howlin' Wolf originated from his maternal grandfather, Mr. John Jones, who would admonish Chester for killing the chickens by scaring him with tales of the wolf. After a while, it became catchy, and soon the whole family was calling him Wolf.
He give me that name. He should sit down and tell me tall stories about what the wolf would do, because I was a bad boy, So he told me the story about how the wolf done the Little Red Riding Hood. And then they finally killed the wolf and drove him up to the house, and showed me the wolf. And I told him it was a dog. He said, no, that's a wolf. I said, well, what do a wolf do? Say, howl. He said, and so I got afraid of this wolf. And every time I'd kill some of my mother's chickens, she said, so that'll scare me, and it made me mad, and it's good they called me Wolf.
In the 1930s, Wolf met Charlie Patton, the most popular blues man in the whole Delta at the time. He would listen to Patton play nightly from outside the juke joint. The two became acquainted, and soon Charlie was teaching Wolf how to play the guitar, also learning showmanship from Charlie. Most of his stage presence he gained from watching Charlie Patton. That would last him a lifetime.
Flying 4 mules on the plantation. Man come through there picking a guitar called Charlie Patton. And I liked his sound. Will you kill a man? Yes, I will. Dead by I'm a fool about don't take me long to get I need So I always did want to play a guitar. So I got him to show me a few chords, Every night that I'd get off for work, I'd go over to his house and he'd learn me how to pick the guitar. So I got good with it. So I went out for myself, and the people went for what I was putting down. And I decided that I would play. So I asked my father to get me a guitar. 1928, the 15th day of January. He went and got me a guitar, and I started picking the guitar first.
Also being influenced by other bluesmen at the time, such as the Mississippi Shakes, Blind Lemon Jefferson, Ma Rainey, Lonnie Johnson, Tampa Red, Blind Blake, and Tommy Johnson, just to name a few. He also patterned his harmonica skills after no other than Sonny Boy Williamson, who taught Wolf how to play the harmonica when good old Wolf moved to Parkin, Arkansas in 1933. During the 30s, Wolf performed in the South as a solo artist and with a host of other musicians such as Floyd Jones, Johnny Shines, Honey Boy Edwards, the great Robert Johnson, Son House, and a host of others. By the end of the decade, good old Wolf, he was lit with his harmonica and his electric guitar. Around this time, he found himself in hot water in Hughes, Arkansas. While at a juke joint, Wolf was trying to protect a female friend from her upset boyfriend. The two got into a fight, which ended in results of Wolf killing the man with the garden hoe. Of course, son got light. On April 9th, 1941, Chester Arthur Burnett was inducted into the U.S. Army, assigned to the 9th Cavalry Regiment, which was famous for being dubbed as one of the unit's Buffalo Soldiers. Sent to Pine Bluff, Arkansas for basic training and transferred to Camp Blandon, located in Starkey, Florida, where his M.O. was the kitchen patrol. In the daytime, he would cook for the enlisted men, and at night he'd be playing his guitar in the assembly room. Later, being sent to Fort Gordon in Augusta, Georgia. There he would play his guitar on the steps of the mess hall, which is where he met a young James Brown, who pulled up to the fort nearly every day to earn money, shining shoes, and dancing for the troops. This is where James would first hear Howlin' Wolf play. Now, from Fort Gordon, he was sent to a tutoring camp in Tacoma, Washington, where he was in charge of decoding communications. Now, little known to most people, good old Wolf at the time was functionally illiterate, never receiving formal education. He was repeatedly beaten by his drill sergeants for reading and spelling errors. Soon Wolf began having uncontrollable shaking fits, dizzy spells, fainting, and also began experiencing slight mental confusion. He was evaluated in November of 1943, found unfit for duty, and given an honorable discharge November the 3rd. Years later, Wolf recalled his Army days, stating, quote, the Army ain't no place for a black man. I just couldn't take all that bossing around. I guess Wolf his own boss, end of quote. In 1951, Ike, eat the cake, anime. Ike Turner. Ike was a freelance talent scout, and he heard Howlin' Wolf playing in West Memphis. He bought Wolf to record several songs for Sam Phillips at Memphis Recording Service, later renamed Sun Studio. Also, the Bahari Brothers at Modern Records. Sam Phillips praised Wolf's singing, saying, quote, God, what it would be worth on film to see the fever in that man's face when he sang. His eyes would light up. You would see the veins come out the side of his neck. And buddy, there was nothing on his mind but that song. He sang with his damn soul. End of quote. Wolf quickly became a local celebrity and began working with a band that included guitarist Willie Johnson and Pat Hare. Sun Records had not yet been formed, so Phillips, good old Sam used to license his records to no other than Chess Records. Wolf's first singles were issued by two different companies in 1951, with the two hits being Moaning at Midnight and How Many More Years. In December of 1951, Leonard Chess was able to secure Wolf's contract, and at the urging of Chess Records, Wolf relocated to Chi-Town in 1952. In Chicago, he assembled a new band. His first guitarist was a Chi-Town native named Jody Williams, but within a year, he convinced his play son, Hubert Smullen, to leave Memphis and join him in Chi-Town. You see, Wolf damn near raised Hubert. Hubert and Wolf, them two were like muddy and little water. Hubert's solos and sub-phrases perfectly complemented Wolf's voice. The lineup of the band changing often over the years, with many different guitarists such as Willie Johnson, Jody Williams again, Lee Cooper, Otis, Big Smokey Smothers, and his little brother, Little Smokey Smothers, Jimmy Rogers, and Buddy Guy. Side note, good people, Buddy Guy is the grandfather of Shauna. You remember Ma that used to run with DTP. Yeah, Disturbing the Peace and all that. That's her grandpops, right? Back to the story. But most would say, even if there were better players, Hubert was the best fit as a guitarist for Wolf. Wolf had no problem attracting other musicians to play in his band. He had a great reputation, which was unusual amongst band leaders at the time. Wolf had a great reputation of paying his band well and on time, including unemployment, insurance, and social security contributions. Boy was about his business, you heard? Walking it like he talked it, you heard? While at Chess Records, Wolf had a series of hits with songs written by Willie Dixon. During the period, a hefty competition between Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf was intense, to say the least, from women to bandmates. Hey yo, shit got crazy. Willie would have to use reverse psychology. If Willie wrote a song for Wolf, told him that the song was for him, Wolf would complain. He would complain about the song, right? But if he turned around and wrote a song and told Wolf that the song was for Muddy, Wolf jumped on that joint like hotcakes, you heard? He was ready for that joint, you heard? With no problems, you heard? Good old Willie was on that reverse psychology, right? But yo, listen, in the 50s, Wolf had 5 Billboard top hits with Moaning at Midnight, How Many More Years, who will be next? Smokestack Lightning. Hey yo, and watch this. And watch this. The name of this song was I Asked for Water and She Gave Me Gasoline. Hey yo, what type of... But yo, listen, just like the rest of the greats, Muddy in the late 60s and early 70s, he was rediscovered across the pond by them good old London boys who turned his great blues hits into rock and roll hits, but giving him his utmost admiration and notoriety at the same time, which led to new sold-out arenas and tours for Wolf. Listen, good people, the great Chester Arthur Burnett, better known as Howlin' Wolf. Salute.